Hey everyone, so today I'm doing a reading on John Lear. He is a CIA pilot. He talks about UFOs, aliens, and he was on Cosmic Disclosure. And that's really all I know about him. I don't really know too much about him beyond that. I just found out who he was today, and I thought it would be interesting to do a reading on him. This isn't necessarily to say that what he's saying is 100% true or 100% false. This is more so just to do a reading on him to get a sense of his character so that you can draw your own conclusion if you want, or use this to help maybe just get a sense of who he is. Although I will be reading specifically in context of him in relationship to all of his claims about you know being seeing aliens, and or all the information that he knows that he's talking about, regardless of whether or not what he's saying is lies or truth, whether or not maybe he was told something that was a lie and he believes something that was a lie, or maybe he's under some type of psychological control himself, or mind control, or even given false memories, who knows. Although he does say that his stance is that the reptilian conspiracy theories are all like mind control, where it's not real, and that it's all used as a fear mechanism to confuse people, and that really aliens created humans and they don't want us to know about them. I'll have to look at what his name is again, because I almost forgot what his name is. John Lear. I connect to his energy, I get a very calming energy here. Actually, I'm seeing his overall color as more of a purple. It's almost like he's given up on something. It's like his hands were busy trying to make something happen here, but just wasn't working, and it looks like outside pressures kind of like stole it away from him, what he was working on. And so there's a part of him that seems to be defeated and kind of given up. Let's see more about what this is that he was working on. Sounds like he was piecing things together. I'm seeing it represented as a flag. Like as if he was making a flag, and this is like a symbol, like symbolic. Like he was trying to build something that he could kind of like show off, like you would show off a flag, symbolically representing something that had to do with kind of like his work, but it seems like something isn't working out for him specifically currently in regards to that. It's a very nice type of vibe here. I'm getting the sense that he can really take care of himself emotionally, and almost like a sensual, like how silk can be like a sensual type of feeling. Um, I'm definitely getting that coming up here. That he is definitely able to take care of himself sensually, emotionally, seems to do pretty well, seems to be thriving in that area of his life. And this could just be even just the pleasure of eating a meal. I'm seeing that coming up. Him eating just kind of indulging, so to speak, although I mean that in a positive sense. Although I don't see him indulging in the sense of lying or, being corrupt, but I see him indulging in the sense of within all this confusion and kind of chaos going around in his life, he's able to treat himself in a way that's very healthy and very healing to him. I'm seeing him working on something, and it's almost like it's like like Easter, like he's like making a nest or something, and it's kind of like arts and craft type of things. I also see him with a little shovel, and it's like he's shoveling asphalt to build like a wall on his house to like um, strengthen his house. And these are all more symbolic than literal. It's not that he's literally doing these things, but this is the type of energies that he is involved in. So it looks like a lot of home life, a lot of home maintenance seems to be where his energy is directed mostly. I do see him being alone in his actions, and he's not, but he's also, he doesn't feel alone. He's not alone by himself, but I do see his actions come from himself. He's really kind of self-driven and has a lot of time to himself to come up with his plans on how to take care of himself. I want to see, how does this have to do with the cosmic disclosure statements about ETs and all that. And what I'm really getting here is that he's really just focused more on himself than he is trying to like be popular or be seen in the public domain. It's like he's not even really interested in that. So that, to me, at least from what I'm seeing, that would make sense to me, that he seems to be pretty authentic, potentially, although I'll keep reading and see where this goes. Seeing a picture of him in a boat in the middle of like the ocean, and it's like he has this giant chest of all this stuff that is kind of weighing him down. It's like his home possessions, and he's trying to paddle this boat around, almost like he doesn't know where to go, like if someone was homeless and they were trying to figure out where to put their stuff, almost like someone with a RV trying to figure out where to park it. And this looks like it's like a chest or a something with a lock on it, where you have to figure out the lock combo to open it. So definitely stuff he's kind of hoarding on some level. There definitely seems to be a lot of influences here affecting him. Let's see what these are. There's definitely a lot of fear of losing his stuff, like his personal possessions. And it looks like there's a lot of things that people have told him in his life, like even from his mother and other friends, male friends of his, that have convinced him that he needs to hold on to these things because they're important. Not so much that they've convinced him, but more so that that's just kind of the impression that they've left with him. And it's not his truth. His truth is that he could let these things sink and fade away, and he would be able to just swim in this water, metaphorically. I guess you could call the water of life, if you want to call it that, which looks like he would be able to enjoy that much better if he was able to let go of all this stuff and all this security. Like he's trying to make himself too secure. And he just doesn't really need all that, and it's really weighing him down. Let's see what's behind all this. Life has just been a lot of pressure, and he just wants to be able to just kind of just escape it all. So let me see, what does this have to do with his identity? Yeah, he really identifies with his ability to survive and his ability to, keep himself safe, and he's also connecting just kind of with the oneness of everything in some sense. Like he's like he wants to be able to just float aimlessly and not really control anything, not really control where he's going, and just allow himself to just float in this water. But there's this part of him that can't let go, because he identifies with that, and he feels that he would like kind of die in some sense if he was to let go of all this stuff. I want to see, what does this have to do with, how does this relate to him and his claims with aliens and whatnot? Yeah, he clings to his claims in the same way that he clings to these possessions, and there is like this stubbornness to him where he doesn't want to, change his claims at all, which is actually a good thing. He's not like, which I've read in other people before, where they're kind of seeking and like looking for dots to connect. He's not looking for dots to connect. He's not interested in that. It's like he's got a very firm conviction. He's got a very firm foundation of what he believes, and he's gonna stick with that. I keep seeing this elephant, and it's almost like there's an elephant in the living room. Like literally, that's what I'm seeing. And it's like he's sitting there, and there's like all these people energetically in his space, so to speak. And there's elephants. I'm going to see, what does this elephant represent? He's really focused on his personal life. And this elephant has to do with something from his past and what he identifies with, similar to what I was just reading. But this is more like memories from his past. This is an energy in his space. I'm trying to see how this is affecting him. And it's making, he's really clinging. He's a clingy person. He's clinging onto the past here. He's holding on to memories from the past. He doesn't, it's like he really cherishes his memories. He thinks about the past. He looks to the past more than he looks to the future, is what I'm getting here. Let's see, what is the... It's like he's made some sort of agreement with himself or with this energy that's in his space. Let's see what this is. He's really limiting himself in what he can do with the, publicly and socially. It's almost like he'd rather stay at home than go out. This is a very limiting type of influence over him. And it causes a little bit of, like, I'm not saying he's depressed, but it has a depressive type of energy to it, where it causes that reaction within him. And it kind of shuts him down a little bit from exploring other options, other opinions, and looking at other things beyond kind of like his little world. So he doesn't want to break out of that. Again, this was this was an energy affecting his communication space. So I'm going to go back and see what this was, or what the bigger picture is, besides just this energy specifically represented by the elephant in the living room. But I'm also seeing many beings, many people, many influences, energies affecting him. And it's like he's a very social person, but very social at home, specifically, and very kind of like family oriented, not necessarily his direct family, but this could be like friends that are like basically family. He's very home oriented within his communication space. And I just see a picture of him sitting on a couch watching a TV with other people, and he's just kind of taking it easy. Yeah, he's not trying to put himself up on a pedestal, or he's not trying to put himself out there. He's really just trying to, it's like he's like the type of person who will just like read the newspaper or watch TV or whatever, and make commentary to his friends and close associates and family. And he's really just trying to have a good time by himself within his world of people that he knows. So he's not trying to he's not trying to convince people of anything, although he does have a very rational kind of debating, kind of like when he sees something, he kind of wants to talk about it and say like what he thinks about it on some level, but it's not like judgmental as much as just using rationality and judgment and very critical thinking, um, but still within the realm of what he knows exclusively. He's not just going to take somebody's word for something. Um, not anymore, at least. He's kind of built his foundation. I'm seeing him spending a lot of time just taking in information from kind of like the mainstream news, or just paying attention to what's going on in the world, like watching TV or whatever. Not really trying to dig for like answers, but just kind of like taking it easy and seeing what comes to him. Just kind of what's more out there in the public domain. And it's like he's eating popcorn, symbolically. It's like that's what I see. Somebody like eating popcorn in front of a TV, just kind of taking it in, flipping through the channels. So it looks like he's very observant here. He's very much so able to observe. He's a very critical thinker. He's really good at analyzing information and sticking with the more credible sources here, which may be good or bad depending on how you look at that. Yeah, I see him definitely being involved with this woman, family, definitely a female presence that he, you know, talks with, that is, you know, very close to him. It's hard to know if this is his mother or his wife, honestly, but it's definitely a very family oriented connection here. And honestly, his connection with those close to him, around him, are more important than whatever he's watching or reading or investigating. He's not really an investigator. He doesn't investigate stuff really. He does, but it's more like a pastime than like taking it seriously. It's more like he already has a lot of the answers, basically, is the way that he sees it. Almost like he's just kind of waiting around. Like there's a sense of aimlessness to him that just keeps showing up. Like he's just kind of waiting around. Like he's not really seeking anything in particular. He's just kind of there. And it's like as if he's just kind of waiting to pass away and die, is kind of what's coming up here. Although he's not really waiting for it, it's more just like he's just there, and it's like life is happening and it's no big deal. It is what it is. He's not really concerned about much. I'm trying to see, what does this have to do with his higher self? Yeah, it's like this lifetime, it's kind of like he's just done what he's done, and now he's just taking it easy. At least that's the way he sees it. Let me see what his spirit wants from him. Well, I get the sense that there's a part of him that's kind of, I want to say, sedated, um, almost, I don't want to say lazy because that's a little negative, but it's more so just like a part of, like his spirit wants him to kind of perk up a little bit and be a little bit more alert to what's going on around him. I'm seeing a lot of energy cords which are coming from other people, where these are social conditions, social controls over him. Looks like they're going to his third chakra, and these are coming from what looks like military, but not military, but more like intelligence type of people. And then the other half is like family and people close to him, and some of these people are also involved in the UFO research, which seems to be kind of intertwined with his home life. And it looks like these are really kind of holding him where he is. Let me see. What's the effect on... It's just really definitely like, it's almost like this stubborn kind of grip on him from these external influences. And just see him sitting in a desk doing paperwork. And it's like he's going through information, and it's like he's editing things based off of his knowledge, and like confirming things. And there's definitely a sense that it's more so like the mainstream information. Looks like there's more kind of darker, like dark projects type of information that he's not really involved in, or he doesn't really know much about. And he's not really interested in it either. And a lot of this social control over him really makes him feel more right where he is and not want to explore these other possibilities. And when I get the sense of how these possibilities affect him, it's almost like his stomach turns and he gets like sick feeling, and like devastated by this type of stuff. Try and maybe tune into some of what this is. So these are like agents. I'm seeing it represented by someone with like glasses, and it's like part of the glasses are like really thick glass, and it's almost like a magnifying glass, and it's like they're looking through like the paperwork at like these details that are, it's symbolic, like you have to see through these details on some level to really like there's things that are hidden from him, is what I'm saying here, which would make sense. I don't think anybody would know everything, obviously. But it looks like a lot of this information would kind of shake him up out of his comfort zone, where it's, through this reading I've come to the pattern of him being very kind of comfortable within his nervous system, but I'm seeing this kind of like jarring up his nervous system and kind of like, ooh, like almost like waking him up in like a very jolting, kind of rude, awakening kind of way that he doesn't really seem like he's interested in. He doesn't really want to be experiencing that type of experience. He's comfortable where he is. I'm seeing this being like technology that's like way out there, like metaphysical meets like sci-fi movie type of technologies here. And almost like being like, I don't actually want to say this. Let's just say technology beyond this world, for sure. And that there's that the secret agents, if you want to call them that, have information and work with extraterrestrials on levels that go beyond, above what he knows, with controlling the human population, and there being a deceptive part to this where these agents are like a step above the rest of the military, the government, and it's like they're actually using the government to their own advantage and lying even to the government, or at least parts of the government. And some of it's the way that I'm seeing it, and this is more metaphorical, I believe, is that these agents, they look like they're like, you know, shadow people made out of black, and then they kind of shift into something else, and it's like, and they turn into a cat and walk away, which symbolically for me represents their ability to change the information, shift what's real, and on some level live a lie. So there's a lot of lies and darker operations going on than what he is aware of, that being John Lear is his name. So I'm going to go ahead and end this reading, clear out some energy, because I don't want this energy affecting me. I do hear the walls and the ceiling popping, which happens sometimes when there's energy clearing, so I'm going to make sure and clear out whatever energy is coming into this room. Okay, that's a reading for John Lear, who is currently a CIA pilot thanks for watching. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and have a good one.